So we're out here working at 5:20. I've been up for the past hour. Got coffee. Gonna go park because I know that there's going to be no business because people don't wake up this early on a Sunday morning. And this is a meritocracy. This is a kakistocracy. As I'm getting coffee, I see the same guy that was jumping around, cussing everybody out yesterday, young, capable, at least physically, of doing work. But now in that same propped wheelchair, you have a tarp and this pathetic looking stance right in front of the line at Starbucks, right? So that relying on this anti-transcendental, right? Transcendentalists would say, look, I saw you in the day. I listened to you. I'm watching you now. You're plaguing on people. You are living off the socialistic, democratic rendition of, like you're not a pacifist. You know, you're not anti-war. You're not for peace. You're a polemic and warring person. You think that that's a male component. And when I talk about, it may seem very misogynistic, but what I'm telling you is I'm saying that the roles that you assume as male, the roles you assume as female, you have to remove the testicles and the ovaries and everything endocrine and every gland from your system, from that subset of your influence. And you have to see the divine. When I use the term divine energy, even though it's called esoteric principles of light, I really try to go, look, esotericism, anything that's arcane, anything that seems very for the few type of thing, it should be for the many, right? Like, we have so much information available to us in this day, in this time, and people are falling back on false presuppositions such as Christianity. It's like, look, I'm not telling you not to believe. I'm saying, what do you believe in? What do you stand by? And how well have you developed this beyond conceptualization? Like, your answer is Jesus Christ. Well, explain to me exactly intellectually how you got to Jesus Christ. What is Jesus Christ? Define it. Define the boundaries and the barriers and the energy system and the total aspects to the energy system, because you're going to have to define it in a way where it is 100% definable, right? Like, this means something, right? It's beyond the golden mean. It's beyond a construct that's just going to get you through the day that everyone seems to agree with. But so the best example here, instead of getting lost in translation, is to say that the pathos, rhetoric, play, sway, the aspects to believing in something, if you are not backed by the powers, the pervading powers that are acting outside of you, that give you money to eat, that give you a place, that will even listen to you and patronize you, right? Where if you're not saying the right buzzwords, conformity, in the enthalpy as the total energy of the system, then you are seen as a foreigner, okay? And I'm out here at 5:26 a.m. because I know there's not going to be any work right now. There's not going to be any business. So I'm sipping on coffee and I'm waiting for people to actually wake up so that then I can go about doing my business. So do we live in a, like when we talk about a capitalistic meritocracy, when we talk about, no, we are bad robots, we are bad employees, we are bad workers, We are manipulators, and we are using what I would only term as a very toxic feminine energy in society. When I say that, I do believe in transcendence, but I think that you have to call bullshit on every aspect of the assumed self, the assumed construct in society, your assumed role, and you have to look past all this and ardently, not suggestively, you have to stand by the principal action where you're looking at it going, what world would be better? You know, do we really want to pretend that all this human sacrifice, child trafficking, discretionary bias thinking, placing priority and then masking it over, placing priority over other people just because they are downloaded information and make you money in the stock market? Like, you really have to listen of why aren't the people, or why isn't the position backed that is the most principle oriented, right? And then you should become the voice of that, but not trying to earn merits and make money within a capitalistic system that will further your influence and further your money-making prospects. No, it should lead to total peace and a total peaceful solution without having to turn pacifist, without having to go polemic, but to actually get out, as they say, get out the compass and the square and begin to measure the the mathematics, the dynamics of principles in motion, right? As you're applying these principles, why these first principles and through a certain pecking order, and we're not going to get into tenets, we're not going to get into edicts. And I feel like Ayn Rand with Atlas Shrugged was really close to this type of thing, right? But you see the emergence of it. You see somebody who's a sensationalist like Pamela Anderson trying to wear her no makeup, and I'm just in my super lesbo gear now, and it's like, no, you are more feminine, and in your mind more putting on makeup than you could ever be, because now you're making a statement that you're going away from it, and so you're bolstering the fact that and this is what it all leads to. This is why it's important. Is through incarnations, is through succeeding lifetimes, or regressive lifetimes in this case. They want you to become something, and they're making you into something that you are not. And so you have to really get down to the energy dynamics of what I can only esteem through a metaphysical process as divine energy. And that is energy, just like water. It's ubiquitous, it's pure. Show me where the denaturing takes place. I'm not going to think negatively. Let's purge and get rid of all the denaturing or all the degrees away from the pure center or pure source. And then what we have is, we no longer have an alliance. We no longer have a quantum politicized field in operation. And that is what's taking place here, is that on a quantum scale, we have, much like we've done through animism, through Neoplatonism, as invading and penetrating with our very quasi-intellect into injecting politicized morality into the quantum scale. We have not allowed that refraction back of teach me what to do. And so, have we not allowed it, or is it barred? So we live within a very protected ecosystem that doesn't allow any outside positive influences to take place. So that now what we're going through is an isolation of information that is heavily suppressed and minimized, to the point where whoever makes us money, we are going to deem that person as the Messiah.